We are officially a few days away from the Money in the Bank pay-per-view in London. So let's get to some predictions. Now, these matches are subject to change because this is before Friday Night SmackDown, and we know that Vince has probably got his hands all over this card, but we're just gonna go ahead and get this video out to get our predictions out. Let's start it off hot with the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Ricochet versus Shinsuke Nakamura versus LA Knight versus Santos Escobar versus Butch versus Damian Priest and the newly added Logan Paul. Now, it's probably no surprise that we're going with LA Knight with this one. Yeah. LA Knight is the hottest thing in WWE currently. And like I said in another video, that's crazy given that the Bloodline story is still happening. I know that there's rumors about Logan Paul winning potentially, but it just doesn't make any sense. Why would you have someone who's a part-timer and not an official WWE superstar? Yes, he has a contract, but he's a YouTuber. Why would you have him win over LA Knight? And if anything, if anybody's gonna win besides LA Knight, it should be Damian Priest. They have been booking him strong, and the turning point in his career for me was back in Backlash with that Bad Bunny match. That was an absolute banger, but we're gonna go with LA Knight with that pick. Next up, we got Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez for the Women's Tag Team Championship. For this match, I'm going to go with Ronda and Shayna. It seems like they're trying to have them go on a strong women's tag team run. And to be honest, I think Raquel doesn't need to be stuck in tag team obscurity. I want to say that Ronda and Shayna win, maybe by submission. There could potentially be some shenanigans, but just to play it safe, we're going to go with Ronda and Shayna, even though Ronda does not need to talk on WWE television. Next up, we got the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Zelina Vega versus Becky Lynch versus Zoe Stark versus Bayley versus Io Sky versus Trish Stratus. Now, let me start off by saying Io is my pick, has been my pick, and she's been great since NXT. I really wish we would have gotten some closure with this Bayley versus Shotzi match, but it got scrapped apparently, because I feel like that could have been a good setup that if Io doesn't win, Bayley could have potentially caused it. But since Bayley's still in the match, of course she's gonna cause her not to win because she wants to win herself. Also, I have been hearing that whoever wins the Money in the Bank briefcase this year, for women, they're set up to lose and have a failed cash in, because at this point, all the women have 100% success rate when they cash it in. And I get it. I won't be surprised though if Becky Lynch wins, because the way that they've been hinting at trying to make her relevant again, I wouldn't be surprised. But my initial pick is Io Sky. She deserves it. We're gonna go with Io. Next up is Cody Rhodes versus Dominic Mysterio, which is the craziest just random match. I don't understand this. Now, this may sound either obvious or like a crazy take, but I'm going to pick Dominic Mysterio. And the reason why I'm going to pick Dom is because I think this is the setup for Brock to make his return. And this sets up the final bout between Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. Plus, they've been really taking advantage of Dom and his booze and all the heat he's been getting. So we're going to go with Dom, which is crazy to say because Cody just main evented WrestleMania. And Dom is probably going to get a win over him, but whatever. Next up is Gunther versus Matt Riddle for the WWE Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. I cannot see Matt Riddle dethroning Gunther with this strong run that he's had for the past, year now? The only thing I can see happening is if there's something dealing with Randy Orton and he comes back and affects this match somehow. We've been hearing rumors about there's good news with Randy and he's potentially going to make his WWE comeback. So if he makes this comeback in this match, I would not be surprised. I would love it, but I would not be surprised. But I definitely don't see Gunther losing. I don't see him losing that belt anytime soon. So we're going with Gunther. Next up, we got Seth freaking Rollins versus Finn Balor. And I am kind of I'm on the fence about this one. It doesn't make sense for Seth to lose just yet. He's only had the belt for like a month, maybe a month and a half, and they have not booked Finn strong at all. He lost at Mania. He lost his match against Seth to even get the title, and I think he lost just recently, I want to say. Everybody else in the Judgment Day has been booked strongly except Finn. And I love the fact that they finally brought up the 2016, the inaugural championship, the match between Seth and Finn, and how Seth caused Finn not to even have a long title run. It wasn't even 24 hours. It was like 22 hours, and he had to relinquish the title because he messed up his shoulder. And they're bringing up that history. I love that. but I'm gonna go with Seth. I cannot see Seth losing his belt this fast, and I would not advise WWE to have somebody win a title, and it's supposed to be the workhorse title, and it's supposed to mean something, and they lose it in a month. Can't see that happening. And finally, we have the Bloodline, the civil war between Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa and their cousins, well, cousin and brother, the Usos. I have to think that the Usos win this. This is one of those things where this is the official launch and the official start of the dethroning of Roman Reigns. And the way to do that is to start getting some losses under his belt. Now, he hasn't lost any title matches singles title matches, that is. He's lost tag team titles matches, but those are still technically L's, even though he hasn't been pinned. I think in this match, the Usos win, but the pin goes over on Roman. Now, I'm only saying this in the case of if they're really about to start really dethroning Roman, this would be the way to do it, because nobody's pinned Roman. And this is poetic justice for Jey Uso to get the pin over Roman Reigns. The way he has gaslit this man for the better part of 3 years, it's been unreal. It doesn't make sense for him to win the title. I had a conversation with one of my friends about that. It doesn't make sense for him to win the title, but the next best thing would be for them, Jimmy or Jay, more specifically Jay, to get a pin over Roman in this match. That's gonna do it for the predictions. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments, man. I'm excited. We will be live streaming on this channel before the match. So 11 o'clock a.m. we're gonna do a 2K simulation of all the matches on the card, and then at 2 p.m. we're gonna start with the pre-show, and then right after that we're gonna go right into the live stream, the sidecast of the pay-per-view. So hopefully I can see you guys there. Appreciate y'all for watching, and I will see you back in the ring. Peace.